Hey, you. Yeah, you. Are you a good for nothing loser who'll never amount to anything? Are you afraid you'll never be an accomplished entertainer, inventor, writer, athlete, painter, or explorer? Well, I hate to break it to you. The odds are against you. Unless your name is William Leonard Hunt, of course. Because if it is, you might just do all of that and more. William Leonard Hunt was born in New York in 1838, not far from Niagara Falls, and his family moved to Canada when he was very young. Hunt was a bit of a rascal from a young age who loved nothing more than to do whatever he wanted at any given moment. He loved to swim, but his mother forbade it and sewed his clothes together so he couldn't easily take them off. What did little Hunt do then? Why, he went for a swim anyway. When a circus came to town one day, Hunt snuck into it and was enamored with the spectacle right away. He decided he wanted to be a performer himself and started practicing. He even decided to start his own little circus in his town. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, what a sweet and innocent little boy William is. How adorable is he with his little tent, his little clown outfit? Well, apparently things worked a little differently back in 1838. Son, what is going on here? Wait, are you having fun? Haven't you heard that children enjoying themselves is entirely inappropriate in this time period? You're 8 years old already, William! Start acting like it! But this did nothing to dissuade young William. He was determined to succeed. He started performing as a funambulist, which is a tightrope walker, around the age of 20, and was an overnight sensation, taking on the name Signor Farini. He'd later also be known as Guillermo Farini or the Great Farini. Soon, he stepped up his performances, taking on Niagara Falls, first in 1860. Another man had been the first to cross Niagara Falls on a tightrope, only a year prior. His name was Charles Blondin, and Farini challenged him numerous times to a tightrope face-off. This was never accepted, however, but both of them regularly tried to one-up each other, doing the craziest stunts on a tightrope. Blondin would cross blindfolded, Farini would do somersaults. Blondin would cross on stilts, Farini would stand on his head. I forgot to mention that Farini was also absolutely jacked and would also compete in strongman competitions. He incorporated that into his tightrope walking. One time, and I kid you not, he dressed up as a washerwoman, strapped a washing machine to his chest, and walked to the center of the wire. He then collected water from the waterfall below and used it to wash a few handkerchiefs, and threw them to his female admirers. Farini only did these Niagara Falls stunts for 1 year, since he was perennially stuck in Blondin's shadow. But then the American Civil War broke out, and Farini joined the Union Army as an engineer. Here, he first showed signs of his inventing genius, designing an easy-to-use rope bridge and shoes that allegedly let you walk on water. He supposedly showed this invention to President Abraham Lincoln. Check this out, Mr. President. Shoes that let you walk on water! I don't know, man. I'm sort of busy, what with this whole war to plan out. Oh, come on. Are you Abraham or Abraham to walk on water? Ha! Amateur! Damn it! I gotta go listen to Mrs. Fullman's daily prayers. Dumb old hag. Maybe I should just kill her off. You know what? I just did! Farini traveled the world, performing various acrobatic stunts. Most were successful, and he became famous in Europe, but during one tightrope walk in Cuba, which involved his first wife standing on his shoulders, she lost her balance near the end and fell to her death. Years later, in 1869, at the age of 31, Farini retired from acrobatics, due to concerns about potential injury. He didn't quit show business though, staying on as a trainer, manager, and organizer. Farini also devoted time to inventing. Historians credit him as the man who invented the human cannonball act, and he has also been touted as the inventor of modern parachutes and folding theater seats, although I couldn't find anything more on that, and I suspect it's a bit of an embellishment, like his meeting with President Lincoln or his claim that he worked as a spy in the Civil War. He also married again and divorced very publicly, but hey, that was just another Tuesday for this madman. In 1885, Farini set off for southern Africa to cross the Kalahari Desert, an incredibly dry place named for how waterless it is. Why, you may ask? I don't know. Maybe he was having a midlife crisis, or maybe it was just for the vibes. Either way, he claimed he found something quite extraordinary on his travels. Lulu, look! Are you seeing what I'm seeing? A slab of stone? Ha! Oh, the naivety of youth. Lulu, these must be the ruins of the lost city of the Kalahari. What? That's not a thing. It is now. Dad, haven't you heard of Occam's razor? Why, do I need a shave? This was probably just a natural rock formation, but that did not stop Farini from publishing a book about his travels and talking about how he discovered a lost city, adding fuel to a rumor in the region that lasted for decades. But lost city or not, Farini is the first white man known to have crossed the Kalahari, so it was an achievement nonetheless. Soon after returning, Farini married his third wife, a cousin of Richard Wagner, which is pretty cool, and he retired in 1890. Though past 50, Farini was far from done. He started sculpting, wrote about botany, and invested into mining operations. He knew 7 languages in total, and while living in Germany, Farini wrote a 30-volume history of World War I centered around the German perspective. Yes, you heard correctly. 30 volumes! He eventually moved back to Canada, taking up oil painting as an old man, and became so skilled that his paintings were hung in the Canadian National Exhibition. After all that, the mad lad lived to the age of 90 and died in 1929. Jeez, I feel like this guy lived 10 lifetimes. Martin van Buren was US president when Farini was born, for God's sake, and he lived through the Civil War and World War I and died with Calvin Coolidge in office. I don't know how you fit all that into one lifetime. Like him, we should all be inspired to pursue whatever we want to, because if we really put our heart into it and work our socks off, we might be able to master just one of the many skills the great Farini amassed in his lifetime. Or, we can lie about a bunch of discoveries we made. Same thing.